Hello and welcome to another episode of AWS She Builds Tech Skills. My name is Tamara Gagliardi. I'm a Senior Solutions Architect and one of the hosts for today. Today we have a guest joining us from Choice Hotels. We'll hear more about the world of logging, how they modernize their architecture. And I'm also co-hosting today with Abhijeet. Abhijeet, if you want to introduce yourself.
Sure. Thank you, Tamara. Hello, all. I'm Abhijeet Patil, based out of Raleigh, North Carolina. I work closely with Choice Hotels as Senior Solutions Architect of AWS and helping them building the solutions on AWS Cloud. Choice is one of the first company who has 100% presence on the cloud, and I was one of the member who helped them, and I watched them closely. And it's great to see that Ashley, our senior product manager of Cloud Platform, is today with us. And Ashley, you want to go next?
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Tamara and Abhijeet, for having me. I'm so excited to be here. So my name is Ashley Hunt. I am a Senior IT Product Manager at Choice Hotels, focused on the cloud engineering space. So that includes everything from cloud platform, you think your traditional CI/CD, networking, observability, how we're building our AMIs, all of that, over to including our cloud operations side, from issuing desktops to IT support, and as well as our FinOps practice. So it's a fairly broad role, but it's a lot of fun to work with, and especially to get to work with our AWS partners.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Ashley, sounds like you have a slew of all different types of responsibilities. I'm really curious about what was your path, your career path, to ended up in this role?
Absolutely. I've had a really interesting career path at Choice Hotels. I've been here for about 16 and a half years now. I actually started as an agent in their call center, taking reservations many years ago, working through college, trying to work an odd job. I've been very fortunate that Choice then had a program that allowed me to jump into the technology side of the space. And within that, I started as an engineer, and then I became a project manager and a program manager, and eventually I've moved into the product side. And what's been really fantastic about that path is I've gotten to see all parts of the business and all parts of the technology side, which gives me a really unique perspective into how everybody is using our technology and really how platform ultimately contributes to the success of Choice Hotels.
Sure. So, Ashley, let's share something more about the Choice Hotels. What are the customers of Choice Hotel, and what are your internal customers, right? You working closely with them with the cloud solutions.
Absolutely. So let me talk to you about our external customers first. So Choice really is here to connect the world through the power of hospitality. We sit at a unique intersection of hospitality, franchising, and technology. Choice Hotels has over 20 brands, which you can see up there.
Yeah.
That we are very proud of to deliver great service. Our external customers are both our franchisees, as well as our end customers who might be you staying at one of our hotels. Internally, we also have many customers who are primarily who I work with. Those are going to be application developers, full stack, front end, back end, you name it. We're really passionate about the developer experience here at Choice, as well as the overall associate and franchisee experience and how technology contributes to that.
Excellent. Thanks for walking us through who the customers are, both internally and externally. I know that from the conversations that we had in the past, Choice Hotels went through a modernization initiative where you looked at improving both your collection and your management of the logs. And logs are something that all our customers leverage. They're used in a variety of different ways. I'm curious on your end, if you can walk me through, how did you start evaluating the new technologies for this log solutions? And if there were any pain points or systematic issues that you were looking to address. Usually modernization is driven by something. What was that something for Choice Hotels?
Yes. So Abhijit mentioned that we are 100% in the cloud. So we went through several years of transformation to get there. Through that process, we were self-managing our log system at the time. And what we found was that the more and more we got to the cloud and got closer to 100%, the more painful managing logging became, especially when we were managing it ourselves with no outside help. So we saw things like our internal customers would see really slow ingestion of logs. They couldn't get to their data quickly. And in an incident, that leads to problems, right? Because you want to be able to very quickly correlate your logs, your metrics, your traces, anything that you need to be able to get to the root cause of an issue. And so that really led to an overall loss of agility at Choice for a time. In addition, just managing a log system took multiple engineers as full-time jobs. And so we really weren't able to scale to meet the demand. And that was what drove us to go ahead and start looking at additional solutions to see how we could be more efficient, whether that was cost, whether that was time, whether that was making sure that the logs were there when our customers needed them.
Sure. Ashley, so choice technology, right? What we call as IT. So I know vision statement like platform first and embrace open source. Now we did multiple projects in different aspects, and this was one of the challenging program because you mentioned observability and monitoring is very important aspect. So can you tell audience more about how we came to the conclusion about this particular solutions, what factors you consider, how you worked with AWS?
Absolutely. So we had those factors that I just mentioned that were the pain point, and we started looking around for our solutions. We had a very long-standing relationship with our fantastic AWS account team, so they were one of the first places that we went. And we said, "Hey, we know that logging is for most companies undifferentiated heavy lifting, right? You have to do it. Everybody has to do it. Your logs might look different, but you have to have logging." So we said, what have you seen other people do? We also, at the same time, as Abhijit mentioned, embrace open source. And so we went out and we started looking at what was out there on the market. One of the ones that we had heard about was Data Prepper, and we were very intrigued as it was really starting to become very popular in the industry and really seemed to be best in class. It was at that point that we learned in partnership with our account team that Data Prepper was about to become used as Amazon open search ingestion, excuse me. And so with that, we really started looking at how do we evaluate that. We built our requirements by talking to our customers as well as our non-functional requirements. We did a cost analysis with our FinOps team. And then we really went into heavy experimentation, right? Through partnership with AWS, it was, okay, let's set up one log ingestion stream. Let's set up one server that has FluentBit and OpenSearch ingestion set up to be able to go to Amazon Managed OpenSearch. And let's just try it, right? How quickly can we get through grok patterns? How quickly can we get the logs in here? Does it meet our cost requirements? And constant rapid iterations to make sure that the solution would fit our needs.
Excellent. Abhijit, we're both solutions architect. We love technology, so I'm super excited about the next portion where we'll be talking about the architecture. But I'm curious, as a solutions architect, how did you go about supporting this? I'll be popping up the architecture, and then maybe you and Ashley can walk through it. But as a solutions architect, if you can give me your point of view as well.
Definitely, Tamara. And as you know, at AWS, we always work backward from customers' requirement. And as Ashley mentioned, that some of the main requirement was from technology side is embrace open source, right? Cloud native solutions. And when we're discussing about these challenges about maintaining the logs, because choice is having enterprise setup, there are dozens of accounts, there are different organization units, and log is ingesting very heavily, and we wanted to ensure choice will get the best solution available in the market, aligning with their vision of open source. So when we're talking about data prepare, we we mentioned that, hey, we are coming with the open source ingestion service which will fit your needs, and let's explore it. And as Ashley mentioned, we identified some of the accounts where we can implement it, test it, try it, and once it is working well, we can expand it well. So this is the high level idea. So AWS account, there are multiple AWS accounts. So what we did is we had a centralized account, which you see at the right side, where OpenSearch ingestion was deployed, which is a serverless offering based upon the data paper, right? So it means that choice team doesn't need to manage underlying infrastructure that is already built in. And it's highly scalable, and it directly ingest to OpenSearch. And OpenSearch is one of the sink, what we call, which was used by choice already. And it pulls the data in different format, and at choice OpenTelemetry was largely used. So we get the OpenTelemetry data from plain bit in different account, and OpenSearch ingestion is a one-stop solution to get all this data and ingest into OpenSearch. Actually, you want to add something else?
No, I think while this diagram is pretty straightforward, as Abhijeet mentioned, we have dozens of accounts, right? So every single account and every single application has this flow going. So which did mean that we really had to work through what does that look like to truly centralize this and be able to get to this from any possible account, whether that's an EC2, a container, a Lambda, you name it, it all has to log.
So actually, to that point, right, I would like to hear from you that what was your overall experience? Definitely, there things went well. We had some hiccups. So, what could have been done better or differently? So, if you can share more experience working with AWS account team and AWS service team, especially because I think we had a great support from them. Really would like to hear from you your lessons, right? What you learn from this doing this exercise. I know it was very high critical for running the operations and making the changes without impacting the business.
Yeah, so I would say there are two major lessons learned out of this process. The first one is while you're moving fast, you also want to move deliberately,
Yeah.
right? You don't want to move fast just for the sake of moving fast. Think about each of your mini experiments, right? As you're iterating through, what do you want to learn from them? What is your intended result in each one? And I think we could have done a better job in working with the AWS account team about being really deliberate with that. We had our
Yeah.
requirements, we knew where we wanted to go, but really working through that step-by-step building. However, it was an overall great experience, so that's just how we can do better in the future. The second lesson that I would say is critical, make it really easy for your customers
Yeah.
to onboard. There's the classic quote from the movie Field of Dreams of if you build it, they will come. It's not actually true, right? It's not if you build it, they will come. It is let's build the thing that they want that's going to be really easy for them to get to, and then they will come do it. So in our case, what we ended up doing was building some automation that allowed us to flip an individual service or an entire AWS account from the old method to the new method with a period of time where both were running in parallel so that we can make sure that everything was there. You can do full validation. You can make sure your logs are accurate and everything is running very timely. And having that capability to do it down to a single service meant that on really business critical services,
Okay.
we can make sure that everything was safe and we wouldn't lose any data. So that's something that we've really taken to heart since this project and tried to use that everywhere. So those would be my major lessons learned, to be really deliberate and make it easy for people to come consume your products.
And Ashley, you shared with us both about your career, your 16 years, as you mentioned, I believe, at Choice Hotels. We like to close the sessions with some motivational stories from our guests. And I know that there's a lot of other things that you've done across your career. I'm curious on how did you continue to build those skills? What are some things that the audience should do if they wanted to continue advancing in their career?
For me, I think the biggest thing is build some community, right? And have a little fun doing it. As you can see from the pictures, I don't mind making a fool of myself a little bit on stage. I'll get up there with the unicorn headbands and have a little fun with it, and it helps make the environment better. what you're seeing in these pictures here is from something that we do every year at Choice called Mastery. It's an internal technology conference, something that I help lead every year, in which we focus on innovation, on learning. We do everything from AWS Deep Racer to game days to having what we call an unconference. So we have people from our technology org, from our business organization, and from our vendors like AWS that come in and present, and they might talk about Gen AI, or they might talk about quantum computing, or any other topic that is really top of mind. And it's a great week for our associates to get out there and learn and innovate and have some fun while doing it. The other thing that I would say is get some certifications, right? Especially when you are focused on a particular area. I am myself an AWS Certified Solutions Architect, which I got through the She Builds program. So there are always options out there for you to get them. While I'm a product manager and not working as an engineer or an architect, having that knowledge really helps me understand my customer and the engineers that I am working with on a day-to-day basis. So not only is it better learning for you, it is also, if you understand what your customer does, you're going to be far more valuable no matter what your role is. So definitely create a network, have some community, have fun doing it, and keep innovating.
It's amazing to hear about Mastery and everything that it offers to those at Choice Hotels. With that, I know that we're at the end of today's sessions. I would stay many more hours, Ashley, speaking to you and hearing about your career and your work at Choice Hotels, but we have to wrap it up for today. I wanted to take a moment to thank you, Ashley, for jumping on board and being one of our guests today, as well as you, Abhijeet, for being an amazing co-host with me. I wanted to give you both a few minutes. Also, if you wanted any last closing remarks or messages to the audience. So Abhijeet, I'll pass it over to you, and then we can close with Ashley.
Definitely, Tamara. Once again, thanks for arranging this meeting. It was always great to hear stories from Ashley. It's amazing to see her journey right from uh, her uh, uh, her role in the contact center to leading the product management when the Choice was doing the transformation from on-prem to cloud. I worked with her last 2 years, and it's amazing to see Choice technology leadership providing the support and giving the inspirations to ladies like Ashley. I see so many are there who are really making a change, making a difference in the world of cloud and AI. So Ashley, it was great to work with you, and looking forward to do more activities and the projects with you.
Thank you, Abhijeet. It's always been a pleasure to work with our AWS account team. If I had any final words, I would say build some community. People are out there, they want to help. Get yourself a mentor and an advocate if you want to continue growing in your career. And also make sure that you understand your customer. If you're an engineer, if you're on a service desk, if you're anywhere, you have a customer, you have someone that you are providing a product or a service to, and so get to know them. And I'd also just like to say a huge thank you to you, Tamara and Abhijeet, for having me, as well as a huge thank you to our AWS account team, the service team that helped us with this project, as well as our cloud platform observability team that really worked on this. I'm here talking about it, but they did the heavy lifting, and it was a true collaboration among all. So thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. And also thanks to the audience that stayed with us. We'll be putting out more content at AWS She Builds, so stay tuned for upcoming sessions. And with that, we'll see you all next time.
Sure.